and then when her eyes landed on the man, or at least landed on what should have been him, there in the corner of the box was a pile of pieces, like parts of a doll almost pulled apart, or perhaps just how Detective Hodder had to think of him in a moment to survive. You're not stupid, that sounds badass, right? But I didn't let it out. I mean, is this a euphemism? Is this dragging a euphemism right now? But I didn't let it out, and then I know, chop chop, and now my dragon is pretty much a one-tracked revenge beast. This sounds like a real euphemism. But enough about me. What's inside you, stranger? Nothing but darkness. No dragon. Just a lot of fire. I'd killed to have a dragon. Maybe not the best choice of words. I mean, the dragon sounds awesome, but honestly though, I don't feel like I've got anything inside me or at all. Just darkness, never-ending darkness. And here I thought Spirit was the biggest goth on this island until you arrived. Apparently next episode I need to wear... Alright, I'm already wearing black, I just need to make myself look more gothic for the next episode. Perhaps I could light the torch and search through your darkness. Just to point out, Joker, my intention was to go for Huntress because that's my main character. Apparently Spirit likes me. Trapper's a and Wraith I don't like. Trickster just does his like fabulous jazz hands, comes into the scene and then just leaves with his fabulous jazz hands. So I don't know what's happening there. So apparently I'm going for Spirit this entire run. Just as things were getting heated up, you hear a fluffy fury of footsteps behind you, and you quickly spin around, ready to fend off whatever dangers has just popped up on this strange island. Only to find Dwight and Claudette sprinting across the beach, clipboards in hand, which they're waving in the air and above their heads, like they just don't care. It's not too bad of a game, to be fair. Very important that we stick to the itinerary. We need to stick with the itinerary. You see this list right here? This list of things we need to do? One of them is a flower, the rest is blank. Fill in the blanks. And attend each event as scheduled. Playing sick for a cute flirty point is not part of the event activity. I mean, it is now, just saying. And that's strictly slotted for an afternoon campfire story. At this rate, we'll be late. Playing sick? No, I was. No time for excuses. Well, there is, but that's scheduled for the afternoon. After what comes after the flirting. Go, 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 go. The schedule flirting. Once everyone has gathered at the fire pit, Dwight and Claudette quickly make an announcement. We're not going to blame anyone in particular, but someone, and we're not going to say who, so don't worry, you haven't been sticking to the schedule. That means that we're behind on the whole event and evening and activities, and we'll only have time for one person to share their special spooky nighttime story. Just one story, but sometimes this is my favourite activity. This is a narrative heavy experience. You're telling me that only one person gets to share? How will you decide who? Oh great. We're going to have to decide as a group. That never goes well. Whoever did this, step up now. I swear I won't be angry. I'll merely chop your head clean off. No fuss, no muss. My head's going apparently. Voice trembling. You realise this is probably it for you, but you embrace your fate. Sorry everyone. Sorry, let's do this, Robbie. Sorry, everyone. I think we're talking about me. To be honest, I don't understand how this whole schedule thing works. I guess I lost track of time while I was passed out. I mean, you weren't really using it. I mean, I can't help that. Been there before, even though it's taken some pressure off of me, which is an absolute dream come true. It is really fair to pick on the newbie. Seriously, has anything here ever happened on schedule even once? Even once? You don't even know how the schedule works. We have a schedule. Damn it, Donald. If you don't try to fix the authority gimmick one more time, so help me, I'll snap your head off so quick and drown your blood. I'll drown you in your blood. Cynthia, Fuss, and Muss are back on. You two know I love hack, slash, and slice. We all know you love to kill. It's almost all you talk about. Claudette, nobody named any names. Who even knows any names? Not us. I renounce my name. Who's Donald? Who's Dwight? Who's Donald? Who's Dwight? Who even knows anymore? Call me nobody. Nobody. But it's still going to start the story time. So, Goku, who do you think should go? Ah, damn it. That's a name. Please pick someone to quickly, so this tropical vacation doesn't turn into a bloodbath. We're going to go with Spirit because she seems to be the one that likes to read, so she's probably got some good stories. And I'm not trying to get some points. I choose you. I choose you, Spirit. I throw a, Pokeball. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The entire experience is being carefully crafted to avoid an IP infringement lawsuit. Let's be careful with that chat trait. I choose you, Spirit. Really? You want to hear from me? Spirit huffs dramatically, rolling her eyes as she gets on her feet in front of the campfire. Don't let her talk you out of it. She's great with ghost stories. I don't know where she gets it, but she comes up with the scariest stuff. Seriously disturbing, even to me. I literally pulled a guy's skull and spine out once with my bare hand. Talk about bull stories. If everyone else is going to chit chat, I guess I can just sit down and Huntress' eyes go red behind her mask. And both Trapper and Wraith take their seats. They know when it's worth fighting and when it's not. That's what I'm saying. Huntress is a badass. Well, I hate to break to you, but tonight's story isn't scary. It's a romantic. Too late now. Although I was selected, so I'm going to tell my story. I call it The Prisoner's Kiss. Again, she's got some very bright green eyes. You notice that Huntress and Wrath are both sharing a giant tub of popcorn. Nobody offered you popcorn. Wow. So rude. It was dark. Summer night. Sorry. It was dark. Summer night. Warm rain seeped through the sky like blood from an old wound. Detective Hotter, a celebrated investigator and renowned hostage negotiator, was called to the scene of a strange occurrence unlike anything she has ever seen before. When she arrives, the scene was chaotic. Crowds had begun to gather. A dozen of other officers doing everything they could to keep the curiosity onlookers away. But how could anyone resist wanting to know more? For there, in the middle of a busy market, had appeared a giant box. Strange, alien in its appearance, and massive in size. That's what she said. Okay, back to the story. No one knew how it got there. Was it delivered, built on site? in such a busy area? How could something like this just appear? A mystery. It was as if it was conjured by magic. But this was no illusion. A huge box was very real, and someone was trapped inside it. Spirit pauses her story to look from face to face in each member of the audience. She has no expression, but you feel her vibrating with energy. She is in her element. "Help me," cried someone inside the box. It was a man, terrified, trapped, imprisoned, his voice trembling. By now, it is as if every detective in the city was there, looking this strange structure up and down, inspecting it on every side. It doesn't make sense. There are no doors, there are no windows, there are no fastening or seams. It is completely solid and much too heavy to move by hand. Solid, that is, except for a single small slit, just enough to see the bloodshot eyes of the prisoner trapped inside. "I don't know what's happening. I woke up in here. I'm so scared. Please help me," cried the man as he pleaded for his life. No stranger to tense situation, Detective Hotter comforted the man. She used her training to calm him and buy time for the other investigators. However, time did not bring clarity, only anxiety. As the night dragged on with no progress on opening the box, and as the night grew longer, the seeping rain puddling on the ground, the man inside grew more desperate, more sad, lonely, pathetic, and in need of help. But the Detective Totter, I'm going to say that right once. Detective Hotter was no help at all. Powerless to save him, guilt began to weigh on her like it never before. "Don't let me die in here," the man begged. "Don't let me die alone." "Stay calm," instructed Detective Hotter. "You are not alone. I'm here. Hell, half of the town. We're all in this together, and we won't let this be the end of your story." Looking through the narrowest of passageways, Detective Hotter watched her own reflection in the tear-filled eyes of a stranger, sad prisoner. Together they both wept in silence. At the hopelessness of the moment. "Promise?" the man asked. "Promise that I'm not alone?" "Yes," she promised. "I do." A simple pledge. She felt an instant connection, like she was never felt before. Not to her family, not to her friends, and not to any other hostage she had ever worked with. Free before. And so when the man's eyes closed and backed away, it didn't scare Detective Hotter. She knew he would return, and he did, pressing his lips in the narrow slit in the horrible puzzle box repeatedly in his question again, stream flowing down his mouth as he asked, Promise that I'm not alone?" "Yes," she promised, "I do," and pressed her palms against the cold outside of the box. Without truly knowing why, Detective Hotter leaned forward and placed her own lips on the opening, letting her breathe creep into the strange structure, allowing her warm lips to fall onto this man's. It was a gentle kiss, a moment of compassion she could have felt in this brief contact. The beating of her heart pulsing through blood through every inch of her body, match beat for beat in such a soft touch. "Thank you," the man said. No trace of fear remained in his voice, and he backed away into the darkness, disappearing for a single moment of eerie calmness. "Get back," yelled the officer, suddenly thrusting himself between Detective Hotter and the box, breaking a silence that would soon be filled with a cacophony of whirling gears and clicking latches, a symphony of mechanical activity happening all at once. Something had triggered, even as if it seemed unseen lever pulled, and the side of the giant box began to slide up. Cacophony. A little bit late for that one, Joker. You're going to have to voice over that. Just saying. Detective Hotter gripped her flashlight tightly and pushed forward into the foggy interior of a giant box. Her feet splashed into a puddle of rainwater, her heart racing as she swept her light from side to side. And then, when her eyes landed on the man, or at least landed on what should have been him, there in the corner of the box was a pile of pieces, like parts of a doll almost pulled apart, or perhaps just how Detective Hotter had to think of him in a moment to survive. A collection of segments, limbs, pieced, disconnected from one another, clearly severed and placed in a nice, neat little pile. And atop that pile, a head, cold, pale, eyes open, with icy lips and icy blue. Spirit stares at the fire, her expression lifeless, her lips blue, tears fall from her chin and soak into the sand at her feet. You're blown away by the story, and it's safe to say you are not alone. Everyone else looked into the fire or into the sky, anywhere but Spirit. It was you who chose her. You initiated the harrowing tale, so sad, so creepy, so sensual. She really went into great detail when it came to describing that kiss. Too much detail, and now no one is sure to act. Dwight and Cordette are staring daggers at you. You have to do something. The game was supposed to be light-hearted. Rom, please, I said do something. Say nothing, Hugger. Cool story, bro. And try it. Ooh. I'm gonna go. No, I'm not gonna go for a hug because I'll probably get stabbed. I'm gonna go for a hug and get stabbed. I'm gonna go get stabbed. You stand up without saying a word. Approach Spirit, reaching for her arms and hug her. Her robes hovering in the air begin to wrap itself around you, and you squeeze her into her. It's kind of like being hugged back, but also being tied up. It's certainly not what you were expecting. Instinctively, you pull yourself away, and it's an awkward moment, and you nearly fall over into the fire. Spirit says nothing and floats away without saying a goodbye. You, meanwhile, realise everyone had just watched this truly strange interaction from the corners of their gaze. On that note, everyone decides it's time to take a break and split up and search for clues. Scooby, you're with me.
Wait, what?
For a little bit, so that they can all have a moment alone before bed. Yeah, the killers are letting us down. I'm doing good. I am doing good if they're not trying to kill me. Everyone leaves, and you're alone at the fire. The only thing you hear is the ocean slowly lapping against the shore. This is nice. This is safe. A true moment of peace and tranquility that lasts for all of 7 seconds because Trickster shows up and he's blaring his song, latest song. You have so much faith in me dying. I mean, I agree with you. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you could give me encouragement not to die. That's not going to happen ever, is it? Time for the trickster. Hey baby, you look lonely. Mind if I join you? He doesn't wait for an answer. I know you've been hearing from these grumpies all day, but I want you to hear something from a big fish like me. Something special. Those in charge of this island don't want you to hear. I know. I am the ultimate catch on this island, the only lobster in the ocean and of sardines. I mean, I might play you in the DBD, but you know, Huntress is still better than you. No one can give you what I can. You just have to find me. Come find me, baby. Trickster leaves. You're a bit confused about what to make of these cryptic clues, but you aren't going to get any time to yourself to think about them just yet. Spirit approaches you. You know, I watched you while I tell my story. I could tell it was having an effect on you. The fog that follows me around could feel you breathing heavy, taking me in. I was taking her in? I mean, I didn't do that. You and I are both absolutely flabbergasted. Oh, that is a word. Flabbergasted. 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 At the piece of that piece of information, legit. You learn something new every day, even when you're a god. I mean, a narrator. You're doing it again right now. You need to calm down. You should come to the hot tub. I'm sorry. For some reason you think that I need to calm down and the first thing you tell us is, hey, let's jump in the hot tub. In what world does that work? That's the longest word I've ever read on the stream. I was going to say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, but I couldn't spell that for you, so yeah, I beat your word. Dipping in hot tubs with the spirits, you've come a long way in a single day. I'm not saying you shouldn't follow her. An offer like that, just forget about it. Forget about our little talk. Okay. You and your storyteller friend slip into the water. I got confused there. I was thinking the narrator was the storyteller friend, but it's talking about spirit. It's just the right temperature for an evening dip. Plus, if some jealous sharks come along and manage to jump into the ocean, into the pool, you're also pretty sure the killer companion could handle it. Come on, killer. Come on, spirit. I just want it to be totally clear, even though that story bores some similarities to my life, it was not about me in any way, shape or form. Not symbolic, not metaphorically, not any other ickly. Okay? I believe you completely. Sure, you were cut into pieces in your life, and so the person in the story. Perfect normal coincidence. Sure, you're on this island, trapped, one might say, in a most puzzling place. Also a completely regular coincidence. And sure, your lips are blue. Sure, his lips are blue. Your lips are also blue. Really? You'd call this blue? Search for the answer, hoping to find revenge. Okay, so somebody should stop there, I guess. Coincidences. Sorry, the coincidences. Get this through your head, whoever you are. Samurai blood runs through my veins, or well, maybe it has coagulated by now, but now, no need to sweat it, the details. Regardless, I am a descendant of a noble warrior. Thousands of years of training with blades, weapons, precede my existence to this world. Do you know how many swords? Do you know how many swords that is? A lot. You got to figure that out. You got to figure that with that many sharp edges, a person is bound to get disconnected from their body parts here and there. The truth is, and I wouldn't typically share this, so don't go blabbing it out. I dreamt that story like watching a movie in my sleep when I was just a little girl, years before my father sunk his blade into my skin. She's crying. She's crying. She's crying. I never been able to shake it. That's a very adult story for a child to dream. Do you believe me? Yes. I know we just met, but yes, I do believe you. In the way you told the story, it clearly came from someplace deep. Fool! Who taught you to trust a stranger? You're going to get hurt if you don't learn to take better care of yourself. I need to stop trying to be good. I need to be... Do I believe you if you... Now you got me wondering, do I believe you if you believe her or not? And if I know everything, because trust... And if I know everything, trust me, I know everything. Don't. I already know the answer to my own question about if you believe your answer to Spirit's question. Whoa. Ocean got me tripping. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract us both. What's important is a certain corpsey cutie floating in a cloud of magical mist. Might still be waiting for you to say the right thing and free her from puzzle box. If you don't believe me, she is the damn it got me going again. Unfortunately, before you can follow the conundrum to what will surely be a mind-numbing cycle of new questions, you find a certain to somebody standing before you with fresh towels ready to dry off. God damn it, you two! Get lost. Sorry, kids. It's time for bed. It might be I might be the youngest one here, but I'm no kid. I do, however, love being wrapped in fresh, clean towels. Hey, Shay, how are you doing? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Who are you going to date here? Apparently, Spirit. I was aiming for Huntress because Huntress is my main, but Spirit I've just been getting... I kind of went with because I got the first 3 areas right with her, and thought we're gonna just scream like a goat because apparently we're like, you know, crazy. But I thought, fuck it, I'm not gonna keep ping ponging between people. We choose one, we stick with the path. We stick with the path, and somehow I know I'm gonna screw this up. My mother used to help me wash my hair. When I was younger, she combed all the way through the tangles and tied the ribbon round before sending me on my way. I miss her. Stay with the path, exactly. You do not stray from the path. You go on the path, you stay on the path, and then you don't fall from the path. But how are you doing, Shay? You watched as Spirit stared off into the distance, her hand gripped into a tight fist. She doesn't notice you were watching her at first. But I'm still getting lots of flashbacks from KFC dating. That KFC dating and this have so many similarities with the fact that you have the herbs and spices meal. When she catches you looking, she turns away, roughly grabbing a towel from Dwight, and then pushes him and Claudette aside as she floats away. Wow, rude. You head up the campfire. The heat is comforting on the chilly night. Looking at the cracked embers, you think about Spirit's story, about the prisoner in the puzzle box. If you manage to escape this place, will you leave with your life, or has it already been taken from you and it's just a matter of time until you get the gruesome discovery? Probably the latter. Before you can dwell too much longer on your fate, Claudette and Dwight arrive. Their now familiar creepy smile stretching from ear to ear. It's a bit menacing to see them smile, like a bit of a firelight. lit by firelight. Who knows, maybe some of the writers from the game moved. Probably, might be. We must apologise for the accommodation. We weren't prepared for another guest, but we're going to make you feel comfortable or die trying. I mean, you could die trying.
Will Sam claim Spirit's heart? Will Huntress make a comeback? And what sort of accommodations have Dwight and Claudette prepared for Sam? Find out next time on Goku 726 Gaming.